You're welcome to day 9 of my series 23 till I'm 23, and I'm so happy to have you here with me. So, the lesson for today, being day 9, is be open to learning. So the thing is, this particular lesson is something I picked up in medical school. Medical school taught me how to literally be open to learning from anybody and anywhere. You can learn from anybody and anywhere. Because of medical school, I learned this, and it's probably because you can try reading as much as possible, but there are some things that your colleagues, even senior colleagues, or just anybody within the four walls of your class or above, there are just some things that they know that are not necessarily what you've been taught in school. Most times you find us in class, we are seated, we are reading, but then our ears are open just to pick whatever we can pick from other people's conversations. And this is something that I chose to not only apply to my medical education, but also to apply in other aspects and areas of my life. Every single person you meet knows something that you do not know. Every single person you meet has experienced life in ways that you have never lived. Every single person you meet has also felt emotions that you may have never ever felt before. And because life is very peculiar to each individual, you find out that every single individual is carrying a world within them, and you can easily tap into that wealth of knowledge by just opening your mind first off to learning. From every interaction you make, from every conversation you have with someone, there's always something to learn. Learning in this case does not necessarily mean that you have to apply what you learned. There are different forms of learning. For me, if I'm in a conversation with someone and I largely do not agree with what they're saying, the part of learning that I'm getting from that conversation is the fact that I'm coming to understand that, wow, this is this person's point of view, and there are largely other people that might have this kind of perspective about whatever it is that we were talking about. So that itself is learning. When we talk about learning, everybody thinks that if you're talking about learning, the person you're learning from has to be ahead of you, the person you're learning from has to be older than you, the person you're learning from has to be just ahead, has to be somebody that is above. But I don't think that's necessarily the case. You can learn from anybody. I know you might feel somehow having to learn from somebody that is younger than you, but what do you stand to lose in the first place? Absolutely nothing. Whoever you're learning from does not necessarily have to be above you. You can find yourself learning from even a younger person. You can find yourself, if you're in a business setting and you're the CEO, you can find yourself learning from people that are working under you. The first step is just to open up your mind, because they might be younger in age, because they might be inexperienced as compared to you. There's really no need for you to see your own experiences or see your own age as superior in this instance. Everybody's experiences are peculiar to them. So don't always feel like because you're more experienced than the next person, then there's absolutely nothing you can learn from them. That's a bad ideology to ever go with. And this particular thing is very common amongst our Nigerian adults. Like you find out that most adults in Nigerian setting, most of them, when you come up with something, the first thing they tell you is, what do you even know? It's very common, especially when you're talking to an older adult. They tend to ward you off with, what do you even know? What do you know about life? So from now henceforth, for every interaction that you might find yourself in, for every conversation, for every other activity that you might get into, find an opportunity to learn. Ask yourself, what can I possibly learn from this? And it will benefit you to bear in mind that there's always something to learn, and there's always someone to learn from. Thank you so much for staying with me through day 9 of my series 23 till I'm 23. Wow, I've done 9 days. I'm super proud of myself. I'll catch you guys again tomorrow.